Hey Rockstar Mamas. So today we're making a video on 5 tips for helping your baby sleep better through the night. And I have a special guest, Mamie Kruger from yoursleepingbaby.com, and she is an infant sleep specialist and does sleep consultations and consulting. She actually helped me with my 3rd little one, who is a year now, because you know, you have this beautiful little baby, you're so in love with them, of course, but sometimes they make sleeping at night a little difficult and that makes life really difficult. So you need a little bit of help when it comes to getting this baby to sleep through the night. So Mamie, you are going to give us some tips. And the first tip is early bedtime.
So early bedtime. Early bedtime is really, really important. I get a lot of calls and from moms and dads who are putting their babies, toddlers to bed way too late. One of the most probably common myths is if I keep my baby up later, they're going to sleep better, they're going to sleep longer, I'm going to get more sleep. But it does not work that way. Babies are pre-wired for an earlier bedtime. So once your baby gets to be about 6 weeks old, you can start moving back that bedtime to closer, anywhere between 6:30 and 7:30. That's a really normal, natural time for a young baby to go to sleep. And even though they aren't sleeping through the night, you're going to get better sleep. Sleep is going to come easier if you start doing that earlier bedtime rather than putting them down at 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Tip number 2 is swaddling.
Swaddling is key if you want to maximize your baby's sleep. 0 to 4 months, babies have a strong startle reflex and they need to be swaddled. One of the things I hear all the time from parents is my baby doesn't like to be swaddled. And I will tell you, I've never met a baby who does not love to be swaddled very, very snugly. The worst thing that you can do is swaddle your baby up and the swaddle is loose and the baby starts fighting against it and they get their arms free and then you determine your baby doesn't like the swaddle. If you get your baby snug, arms by their sides, after about 3 weeks they can have their arms by their sides, you will find that you are going to get much better sleep, much longer sleep, and your baby is going to have a much easier time putting themselves to sleep if all of their needs are met and they're swaddled. It's a game changer, good swaddling. So you want to become an expert swaddler if you have a young baby. Super important.
Tip number 3, separating sleep and feeding.
Separating sleep from feeding is also really important as your baby gets a little bit older. In the beginning, if you're nursing, your baby's going to want to fall asleep every time you put them to the breast, and that's normal and it's natural. But if you don't ever transition out of that, you're going to end up with a baby who only knows how to go to sleep by sucking, by being at the breast, by being held. So around 6 weeks, 5 weeks, around that age, you want to start feeding your baby, having some wake time, and then putting your baby down from a nap. So those habits of going to sleep while they're nursing do not get compounded.
Okay, so tip number 4, establishing that age-appropriate routine.
Yep. Okay. So when your baby's really young, a lot of moms, especially nursing moms, start out demand feeding, and that's totally fine. If you continue to demand feed for months, what you generally will see happen is you get very burned out, and usually you do not have any type of structure or routine in your day, and that in and of itself can be exhausting. Having a routine, having structure reduces the stress in your home. You know what's going to come next, your baby knows what's going to come next. So having your baby on an age-appropriate routine does not mean that we are not meeting the needs of your baby, does not mean that you're not listening to your baby. You absolutely are doing those things, but you are helping your baby to establish some structure in their feeding routine. And then what you're going to see is, because sleep habits follow good eating habits, you're going to see that your baby's sleep naturally starts to fall into a pattern because their feeds are now falling into a pattern. And it's very easy and very simple to help your baby do that. There does not need to be any resistance from your baby, but around 6 weeks or so, you can definitely start establishing some structure and some routine in your baby's day, and that goes a long way in promoting good sleep.
Yeah. And then that goes into tip number 5. And that's recognizing your baby's sleep window.
Recognizing your baby's sleep window is super important. Your baby's sleep window is the sweet spot when they're going to go to sleep most easily. And so what you're going to see is a young baby generally can only stay awake for maybe an hour or so. By the time they're 3 months, they might be around an hour, 15, hour and a half. But what you're going to find is that if your baby's awake for a elongated period of time, they cannot sleep. And there's generally a lot of crying and a lot of fussiness, and it just seems like their body is fighting sleep. So the way to avoid that is as soon as you start seeing those sleepy signs, as soon as you start seeing a yawn, a baby get fussy or red eyes, you want to immediately go get them swaddled up and get them down for their nap or for bedtime. That is going to facilitate sleep. It's going to make it much easier for your baby to go to sleep, and your bedtime routine or your nap time routine can be just a few minutes of getting your baby down versus when you miss that sleep window, you can end up trying for hours to get your baby to sleep. So I love sharing these tips with you guys. I hope that they were helpful. I would love to talk with you more if you want to know more about me or what I do. I offer a free 10-minute consultation so that I can just give you a little bit more information about myself. One of the things I find moms all the time don't contact me for is they think my baby's going to cry for hours and that's what she's going to tell me to do. And I will tell you that's not what I'm going to tell you to do. So please contact me if you have any more questions. You can find me at yoursleepingbaby.com. That's my website. Or you can email me at mamie@yoursleepingbaby.com. Thanks so much and have a great day.
Perfect. Thank you for being here, Mamie.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys.